Inside every human mind, there is a space that functions like a hidden chamber. It is not part of the brain you can see on a scan, yet it exists as a structure where thoughts, memories, and impressions that shape your life are stored. This hidden room is rarely visited because most of your awareness is occupied with daily activity. You focus on tasks, interactions, and planning, while deeper material remains sealed away. The existence of this inner chamber explains why forgotten memories can return suddenly, why unprocessed emotions linger in the background, and why moments of inspiration can appear without warning. Spiritual traditions describe this secret room as the inner sanctuary of the soul. In meditation, prayer, and mystical states, people report entering a space of clarity that feels separate from ordinary thought. They describe it as a place where guidance is received, where truth cannot be disguised, and where connection to higher realities is made possible. In this sense, the secret room is not only about psychology, but also about spirit, since it holds the link between your human self and the timeless part of your being. Psychology describes something similar. Freud called it the unconscious, and Jung described it as containing both personal memories and archetypes that belong to all humanity. In modern language, it is sometimes compared to a mind palace, a place where the brain organizes information spatially so it can be remembered and accessed. This shows that the idea of a mental room is not fantasy, but a way of describing how the mind naturally structures hidden material. You may not see it, but you experience its presence through dreams, sudden insights, or emotions that seem to arise without explanation. The secret room in your mind is important because it contains material that influences you whether you notice it or not. Within it are stored not only forgotten events, but also your deepest strengths, sources of creativity, and even the ability to heal wounds that have stayed with you for years. Entering this room is powerful and sometimes difficult, which is why not everyone feels ready to face it. Yet for those who are prepared, the room becomes the most valuable part of self-discovery. Bridge. To reach this hidden space, you cannot force your way in through logic alone. You need a process that quiets surface activity, opens your attention inward, and guides you step by step until the door appears. The path requires patience and discipline, but it can be explained clearly. What follows are the steps you can take to access the secret room in your mind, each one building on the last until the space begins to open. Stage 1. Quiet the surface noise. Your ordinary mind is filled with continuous thought. You replay conversations, plan future events, and respond to external distractions. This constant activity forms a barrier that prevents deeper material from reaching your awareness. The first step is to reduce this noise, since the secret room does not reveal itself while the surface is crowded. You begin by creating conditions of stillness. Sit in a space where you will not be disturbed and pay close attention to your breathing. Instead of controlling it, observe its natural rhythm, noticing the rise and fall of each breath. This observation gradually reduces the grip of scattered thoughts. It is not immediate, but over time, the intensity of mental chatter begins to weaken. As you continue, intrusive thoughts will still appear. The key is not to fight them, but to acknowledge them and let them pass. By refusing to attach to each thought, you reduce their influence. What remains is a sense of openness, like water settling after being stirred. This is the first sign that your mind is becoming ready for deeper exploration. The importance of this step is that it shifts your attention from reacting automatically to choosing consciously. Once the noise of daily concerns weakens, your awareness can turn toward the inner space that is always present but usually hidden. Without this preparation, the secret room remains unreachable, since it requires focus that scattered thought cannot provide. Stage 2. Focus on the inner landscape. When the surface quiets, impressions from deeper levels of the mind begin to appear. You may notice images, sensations, or fragments of memory that feel spontaneous. This is what can be called the inner landscape, the symbolic terrain of your mind. Recognizing it is essential since the secret room lies beyond it. At this stage, it is important to treat what arises as meaningful rather than dismissing it as random imagination. Your mind organizes unconscious material in symbolic forms, and these symbols are often the first signals that you are approaching the threshold. Some people see corridors or doors, while others sense colors, textures, or feelings without shape. Whatever arises belongs to you and reflects your mental structure. By observing this inner landscape without judgment, you begin to notice recurring elements. Perhaps a certain place appears often in your mind, or a particular emotion comes forward repeatedly. These are not accidents, but indicators of what your deeper mind is preparing to reveal. They serve as landmarks, guiding you toward the next stage. Spending time in this stage is valuable because it trains you to recognize the difference between surface thought and deeper signals. The more attention you give, the clearer the patterns become. This process builds the sensitivity needed to approach the doorway to the secret room with awareness rather than confusion. Stage 3. Recognize the doorway. As you remain focused on the inner landscape, a distinct threshold begins to appear. It may look like a door, a staircase, a gate, or even a sudden shift in sensation. What matters is not its exact form, but the fact that it feels different from the rest of the images. It carries a sense of transition, as though crossing it would lead somewhere new. When you notice this doorway, take time to study it. The form it takes often relates to your personal history and the way your unconscious represents change. For some, it may resemble a childhood home. For others, it may feel like an unfamiliar symbol. The variety does not matter. What matters is the recognition that you are standing at the threshold. Emotions are strong at this stage. You may feel curiosity, hesitation, or even fear. These feelings are normal because the doorway signals entry into material that is both important and hidden. Accept these emotions as part of the process, since they confirm that you are close to the secret room. Crossing the threshold requires a conscious decision. You must choose to step through, not as an act of force, but as an act of openness. By making this choice, you communicate to your deeper mind that you are prepared to face what lies within. This intention itself is a powerful signal that unlocks the transition. Step 4. Enter the room with openness. Upon crossing the threshold, you enter the secret room itself. The experience varies greatly. For some, it appears as a clearly defined room filled with objects, while for others it may be a vast space without form. The differences are personal, but the meaning is consistent. You are in the area of your mind where deeper truths reside. Inside this room, you may encounter forgotten memories, unresolved emotions, or insights that bring clarity to ongoing struggles. These experiences often arise suddenly and carry strong emotional weight. They are not random, but represent material your unconscious has stored for safekeeping until you are ready to face them. Openness is critical at this stage. If you resist or judge what arises, the process may close. By accepting whatever appears, even if it is uncomfortable, you allow the hidden material to move into awareness where it can be understood and integrated. This acceptance transforms the room from a place of secrecy into a place of healing. The benefits of entering this room are profound. You may release burdens that have shaped your behavior for years, discover new creative potential, or experience peace that comes from aligning with your deeper self. The secret room is not about fantasy, but about contact with truth that ordinary thought cannot reach. Step 5. Bring back what you find. The final step is to integrate what you experienced in the secret room into daily life. Without this integration, the experience remains incomplete and the insights may fade. To make the process meaningful, you need to bring back what you found and use it consciously. Begin by recording your experience. Write down the images, feelings, or realizations that appeared, even if they seem unclear at first. Over time, patterns will emerge, and you will see connections between the material from the room and your daily challenges or goals. Next, apply the insights practically. If the room revealed unresolved pain, acknowledge it and seek healing through action. If it presented symbols of strength, use them as reminders in times of difficulty. This application transforms the insights from abstract impressions into tools that shape your life. Returning regularly to the secret room strengthens the connection. Each visit builds familiarity and the material becomes easier to access. Eventually, this process becomes a dialogue with your deeper self, where you can ask questions and receive guidance. In this way, the room becomes not only a hidden space, but also a practical resource for growth. The secret room in your mind is a powerful inner space where the deepest truths about yourself are stored. It is reached by calming the surface, focusing on the inner landscape, recognizing the doorway, entering with openness, and bringing back what you discover. Few people make the effort to access it, but those who do find clarity, strength, and transformation. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.